sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Thank you very much for accepting our request and coming to our studio.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you are completely into development side
Right.
and customers. So, can we discuss about something about developers, the development before AI and after AI, sir?
Sure, that's an interesting topic nowadays because AI has changed a lot of things positively as well as negatively. Positive things are a lot of things which a human can do as an repetitive jobs can be done by AI. But obviously there are certain misuse of AI. If we focus on development part here, so prior to that people are like searching on the Google. So before Google there was like we used to search on the books, like a lot of books for finding any answer. Then the Google came, and then there was also like when we are using the Microsoft technologies, there was MSDN was there. And then obviously when Google came, it has got all the information, and we used to find everything on the single click of search. We used to get a lot of articles, and there are lot of basically articles like Stack Overflow and other areas wherein we can discuss about the technology part, but and we used to find the solution.
Yes.
But from once this AI came, specifically if we talk from the ChatGPT or Gemini or many other has came now, people are just putting certain queries, getting a piece of code and directly writing and implementing into the program.
Yes.
Now that part is good for learning part, but when we go into production or any active code which is part of any development or any mobile app or any web app or any kind of application, that becomes a very huge challenge.
Yes.
Because whatever they have learned is not authentic or verified.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily correct for that application. Obviously it's us to determine whether we should really use that piece of code for that purpose or not.
Yeah. Sir, what is my concern is about security. See, when we discuss the copying and pasting of the code, sir, what is the main concern about security and cybersecurity or vulnerabilities in that code?
So
how it affects?
Security part, honestly speaking, nowadays nobody care about the security part. Everyone is just dumping the code, writing the code, whether it is from articles or some open repositories on the GitHub or any other platform it may have, and just implementing and adding into the code. Nobody is bothered about the security. So first the people need to made aware about the security part. The developers need to made aware about the security part, because that's not is happening right now. We give them training on, let's say, Python, we give them training on Node.js, Angular, and so on. But nobody gives training on like how to write a secure code.
Security.
What exactly needs to take care if I'm writing a mobile app and I'm posting my API on cloud or own hosted servers. What security precautions we need to take? Nobody is bothered about that. Rather, that is not taught anywhere. So that is a kind of biggest concern.
We have seen and so many nowadays the influencers, the social media influencers are just putting, just in 2 minutes you create this app, that app, and it does. How far it sustains, the sustainability of the 2-minute developed application, what is the credibility and the sustainability of that?
Yeah, so obviously you can't create like ERP from whatever that even if you call it a ChatGPT or something, because again it has got this information from something. Whatever is openly available, it has captured that information and representing it for better usage. But it's not meant for the development. It's definitely just for the learning purpose, and certain tasks you can automate like agents and all those things which you can obviously create. So certain manual part has can be converted into these kind of things like the CI/CD pipelines or something, which is again kind of AI thing which is technically doing by that own way, but not the development part. Obviously development we have to apply the logic, we have to understand the requirements, we have to understand the security requirements. Nowadays we need to draft the security requirements first and implement it in the code.
Yes.
Unless and until the people know about it, then only they can write about it.
Right, secure code.
Secure code.
Yes. The secure architecture, how it takes in the main role of developing. So development is not only a simple job. It should have a architecture first in place, and the complete structure, the flow processes. Can you please explain how it plays a major role?
So like if you talk from any banking application, now there is a PCI DSS in existence, which ensures that application has all the levels of security, testing mechanism, their implementation, storage of the data, encryption, and all that stuff. So that kind of environment is not there in other applications. If I want to do an Android or iOS app, I'll simply go create the app in like maybe a hybrid environment or the native environment and just do the coding, host the APIs, and that's it. But that's a very initial part. Now what we are storing over there is a data. Now the problem is that data is critical. Nowadays in digital environment, everything is a data. So if I'm hosting an app, obviously I'm getting certain credentials. That credentials might be someone's username, password, or someone's existing username, email, password also they can enter into that.
Yes.
So now if I'm not keeping that data safe, someone might come, get that entire bunch of data and use it for all their malicious purposes. That is what is basically a problem happening into the existing industry. The breaches what we hear in news or read it into articles or somewhere posted into the certain cybersecurity bulletins.
Yes.
There we hear like every day there is something is happening, and it is happening because of poor architecture. So unless and until your architecture is clear, you understand what is the threat and you apply mitigate it by putting a certain appropriate constraints at every level, validations, securing your APIs, then encrypting your data. So everything is mandatory, everything is needed. Otherwise then these things will directly open up a pile of data which has got a large meaningful value. Now if someone goes to the bank and they'll get everything, all the credit card details, all the bank details, all the financial details, and it can reach into financial frauds.
Definitely. Thank you so much, sir. This actually enlightened us. And what is the buddies, the buddy developers, the buddy coders, what you give as a suggestion? Because now everyone is thinking that there is no requirement of developers, nothing, AI can do anything, things are happening.
Trends for AI, a lot of things are happening, a lot of speculations we can see on social media also. My personal belief is there is a technology disruption which has happened before also and it is going to happen, but it's not going to change the basic things, because development is not something that okay you can come and do something. It's a logic you have to put behind, you have to understand the architecture, you have to deploy it, and you have to ensure it is keep running successfully. As you mentioned, like what's if someone develops the code in 2 minutes, okay, what's the sustainability? Whether it can sustain for 20 years may not be.
Yes.
But if someone writes a code in that angle that my code has to be there in 20 years next, it should be keep on running, then it will keep on running. The things has atomized in industry so large that there are so many good people contributing it and it is working exceptionally fine. So anything, if they are short-sighted and putting it vision, it will last short-sighting limited only. There will be impact on jobs and a lot of other stuffs on maybe developer also, but not the logic, because logic is something which you think from your own mind, you take a decision, you write a code, and then accordingly you navigate through all those things. It's not a simple task when you do from a development point of view. Obviously it has got certain skill set, and that is not going to die or change just because AI has came up, or maybe after 20 years something new has come up. It is going to be there.
The human logic is the heart of the
things.
coding.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a very well taken point, sir. And see, as a developer, as a coder, so what is the main constraints, like main important things to keep in mind when they are doing the process of coding?
So first of all, awareness is the primary part. The developer should be aware that okay, if I am responsible for writing certain piece of code, then that piece of code should be secure. Now when we do anything, we ensure, when we talk from security, I always give examples of like our home or office. We ensure our doors are locked while living to the home. If our children are there, we ensure everything is locked. So the same thing when we are creating any app, creating any portal, website, anything, it should be secure. Nobody should, other person who is not intended to use the data or use that piece of software or that data inside that should not be allowed. So all the authentication mechanism should be correct. They should not think that okay, if I am writing an API, then they are not bothered if that API is hit 10,000 times within a minute, because they are not having a proper authentication, they are not having a proper mechanism to check that, because they don't know even that part. So first they should be known that okay, if anything is there, it's an possibility that it can be attacked for a brute force to get certain credentials of that and use that data for some other malified intentions. So that has to be secured first. If your door is secured and then inside you have a door, then you have vault. Vault is also locked. Doesn't mean that door is locked, your vault is open and just like that. So you have a security everywhere in your house. Same way in application also, you should have a compartmentalization, you should have security, and that should come into your architecture. Once it is there in architecture, the developer who is going to develop knows that okay, I have to also adhere to certain security protocols, certain security constraints or some mitigations. That has to be a part of my code. And second is we do the reviews, we do the peer reviews, code reviews. but we don't do the security review of that code.
Yeah.
So that security review is must. If I'm using, let's say, Node.js or Python, it has come up with a lot of pre-built packages. Now those pre-built packages may not be the completely secured. So again, those things also has to be tested. There are certain commands like in npm or pip, like audit. Nobody uses audit command. Everybody lets it down, get install, upgrade, and that's it. Nobody, even people may not know the audit command also. But that audit command will verify the packages whether are marked as a secured or not. And even GitHub also has an advanced security tool, as it also has the same tool. So a lot of other tools are also there which identify the security part of every component which you are using as an open source. Open source community has given a lot of things, but that does not mean everything is secure, and we have to use it as it is.
Yes, that is very well taken point, sir. So now actually my question is, so we are just talking about this, see, what coders thinks, like the developers think security is not my job. Security part is not my job. My job is to develop something and give it the testers and they will do their job. Is that so?
Definitely not. See, when we do the design, whether it's you design for a building, a home, or a software, everything is same. You design, you build the doors, you build windows, you build airflow, and then also you do the security. How you are going to lock your doors. Now you also want, you don't suffice with one door. You also want an additional door to be placed on your home. Why is that? It is just because the security is the most important thing. The same in the software. Your architecture should say, okay, I will not rely on single factor authentication. I will rely on multi-factor or two-factor authentication. That's a minimum. Now, to do that, again, developer has to write a code to ensure that my program is sufficient for two-factor or multi-factor authentication. Unless and until he'll write that piece of code, the program will not be enabled for any kind of authenticator. Tomorrow I may use a change authenticator, I may not use OTP, I may use any Microsoft or Google's authenticator, but the program should be sufficient enough for that. Tomorrow I may go for a single sign-on kind of thing. But again, to enable that, I need to write a code. So it's a developer job. Developer is given that responsibility to develop something. Tester's responsibility is merely to test it. Even though tester should also test from the security point of view, but again, that's the tester's responsibility. You cannot pass the bug just as it is, saying that okay, it's his job. He will do his job, but as a developer, he also needs to do his job.
Yeah, that's very well explained, sir. Yeah. Sir, any 3 simple steps to the developers?
First, as I mentioned, awareness. That awareness of security is must for that. Then they should learn the best practices about every step they are doing. They are doing an authentication, so they should know about what kind of secure authentication mechanisms are there. If they are hosting an API, they know how to control that API. If they are writing a data on disk, they should understand that data is critical and it should be encrypted. And most important thing is like to ensure that whatever they are writing, the piece of code has to be secured enough so that tomorrow, because of that, any other actor than the user should not be intending to use it in malified intentions. So that's a basic responsibility of developer, and he should never forget that responsibility. Once he do that, I don't see a challenge from that point of view, that he will understand clearly and he will deliver correctly.
The secure coding.
Secure coding.
Yeah. So any institute is offering this secure coding?
Yeah, so ISEA of MIT actually has developed this program by the help of CDAC Hyderabad, and they are offering these courses as a part of CISO and of secure coding and the awareness part. So there are a lot of programs are going on right now, and for one of the program I also got an opportunity to present a lecture to the team. So, and I'm also now associated with that part. So there are great initiatives basically being held by Government of India under MIT, and these programs ICA will definitely have a bright future, because these are very important things for the people. India, we are calling it as an IT hub, but if they don't understand security, then we are lacking a big thing over there, and that's a very essential part, and it's a great initiative.
Yeah. Sir, how it is different, that is coding is code, but how it different for mobile application development, and also is that anything difference is there?
Architecture wise there are differences, but if you see, the basic principles are same. If I'm as I mentioned, if I'm doing an authentication, my authentication should be enabled for multiple factor authentications, secured authentications, and there are frameworks which are already available, provided by cloud apps or certain apps. So we can also use that, which takes care of a lot of things. So which takes care of a lot of burden from the developer. Again, if you are going in native development, there are certain things which has to be followed, which is a platform specific. If you are going in hybrid development, obviously, then mostly it is relying on the API parts. Again, if you are going in API parts, if you are using cloud is taking care a lot of our network segmentation, filtering, API security, then logging part. So wherever, if we can understand if any anomaly is happening, if that is not happening, then that taken has to be care from the developer or the deployment. That secure deployment is also part of that. So mostly the type of development may change, but the basics remains.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for coming to our studio and delivering the valuable points.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present myself. Thank you.